In a small village by a peaceful river, there lived a young man named Martin. Martin, 23 years old, was a hard-working man who worked at the local grocery store. Although his job was not prestigious, he persevered for 5 years to rise to the position of a respected manager. But Martin still worried about his heart. For the past 5 years, he had been saving money from his modest income, but the money seemed to grow too slowly. He longed to find a way to make his money work, instead of passively waiting for each paycheck. One day, on his day off, he decided to seek advice from Mr. Victor, a wealthy man in a nearby village. Mr. Victor was famous for his large fortune and businesses that brought him wealth without much effort. He was the perfect person for Martin to learn from. When Martin arrived at Mr. Victor's house, he found him relaxing under a large tree near the field, enjoying a cup of coffee. Despite his wealth, Victor is not a busy person. His assets and money work for him, and that is what Martin wants to learn. After exchanging greetings, Martin shares his goal with Victor: to learn how to make his money work for him. Victor smiles at Martin's determination. "That's a good idea. It's never too early to start learning about passive income," he says. Passive income is not just about investing large sums of money or buying gold. With the right mindset, even a small amount of money can work for you. If you can manage 1 million rupiah, imagine what you can do with more. Martin listened with interest as Victor continued. The first step in building passive income is simple. You need money. Save from your income, but avoid borrowing to invest when you're just starting. It's safer to work hard and save gradually, even if the amount is small. Martin nodded in agreement. "So what should I do once I've saved some money?" Victor chuckled at Martin's enthusiasm. "Take it easy, Martin. The second step is to resist the temptation to buy expensive things right away. Don't rush into buying a fancy phone, car, or house unless you need them. Expensive things like cars and phones depreciate quickly and can be expensive to maintain, especially when your income is still modest. Instead, use that money to build passive income." Martin felt relieved. He had always dreamed of owning luxury items, but now he understood the importance of waiting. "You're right, Mr. Victor. If I spend all my money now, I'll have nothing left." "Exactly," Mr. Victor replied. "Now, let's move on to step 3. The most interesting step: finding passive income opportunities. Look around, explore your surroundings, and even check social media or the internet for ideas. There are many ways to create passive income even with a small investment. As they walked through the village, Mr. Victor pointed out examples. Look at Dania's house. He started a small Wi-Fi service with less than 500,000 rupiahs. And next door, someone started raising chickens with the same amount. The important thing is to find an opportunity that suits your skills and interests. Martin was surprised. He had never thought of such simple ways to start passive income. "I never realized there were so many opportunities right in front of me," he said, scratching his head in amazement. As they returned to the tree where they started, Mr. Victor continued, "Step 4. When you find an opportunity, don't wait too long. Start small, use your savings, and learn as you go. The challenges will come only after you start, so there's no need to wait for a perfect plan. And remember, it's always wise to start with a small investment to reduce the risk." Martin felt grateful for the valuable advice. He understood that starting small would help him minimize mistakes while learning. "Thank you, Mr. Victor. This means a lot to me. Step 5, Victor continued. Gradually increase your investment as your passive income starts to flow. Use the profits to expand your business little by little. Just like Denia expanded her Wi-Fi service to cover more homes. Martin felt energized. Anything else, Victor? He asked, eager to learn more. Step 6, Victor said. Diversify. Don't rely on just one source of income. Once your first source of income is stable, try starting another passive source of income. This reduces your risk and maximizes your profits. And as a reward for your hard work, set aside a portion of your profits to enjoy. Just don't overspend. Limit it to no more than 50% of your profits. Martin was even more motivated. It's important to enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? Exactly, Victor replied. And finally, step 7, be patient, be consistent, keep learning and adapting. Building passive income takes time. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away. Be persistent and keep learning. And Martin, tell yourself every day, wealth is more than just having a lot of money. It's the freedom to do what you love, the peace of knowing that money doesn't control you. Don't let greed blind you. Remember, the greatest wealth is mindfulness and gratitude. With that, Mr. Victor ended the lesson. Martin left feeling empowered and full of ideas. He knew that with these 7 steps, he could start his passive income journey and see his money grow. Martin's story then spread throughout the village. He started his small journey by providing laundry services to families, then expanded to many other services. A year later, he confidently told this story to hundreds of people in the village, and the story inspired the whole community. The story of 7 steps from Mr. Victor touched millions of hearts. It was not only a lesson about money, but also a wake-up call to live a meaningful life. When Martin left his conversation with Mr. Victor, he not only had advice on how to make money, but also a new, enlightening realization. Money is never the destination. It is just a boat that takes us across the ocean of life. We often mistakenly think that the more money we have, the happier we are. But in fact, money is just a tool, a means to help us build our dreams, care for our loved ones, and create value. If we are not mindful, money can become a cage that imprisons us, making us forget that true happiness lies in the simple and honest things that no amount of money can buy. So let's ask ourselves the question, what will we do to make money serve our lives instead of letting it control us? Money is a tool, not a goal. Did you know that Napoleon, the famous general who conquered all of Europe, once wrote in a letter to his wife, "Money is a good servant, but a bad master." Yet, perhaps we, ordinary people, not riding horses into battle like him, often turn money into a master, letting it control both our lives and our emotions. Don't tell me you've never thought, if only I had more money, my life would be more perfect. I used to think that too, and it was one of the sweetest mistakes in life. You see, money has no emotions. It can neither laugh nor cry. It's not sad when you spend it all on discounted items, nor happy when you throw it into a savings account. But the strange thing is, we let money, an inanimate object, decide our mood. Earning a few coins a week, the mood drops to rock bottom. Receiving your salary a day, spirit soars. Eating pho for 3 meals without blinking an eye. Does anyone else find this odd? Why would we let our lives revolve around something that doesn't love us? Think about it. What do you use the money for? If your answer is to take care of your family, pursue your passions, and live more comfortably, then you're right. Money is just a tool, like a hammer that helps you build a wooden table. But if you sit there all day looking at the hammer and forget about the table that needs to be completed, then it's a little wrong. The important thing to remember is that money helps you, but it can't replace the truly precious things in life, like your child's smile, a hug from your mother, or afternoons spent watching the sunset without thinking about the electricity bill. So how can you avoid being controlled by money? A little trick is to ask yourself, does this really make me happy, or does it just make me look happy? For example, do you need to buy a designer handbag just for Instagram? Or would you rather spend it on a family picnic? Which would you choose? Napoleon was right. Money is a great servant if you use it well, but a terrible master if you let it control you. So, what do you think about this? Share your story about your relationship with money in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget, money is just a tool, but happiness is something you create from real values. You see, when we understand that money is just a tool, we realize that what is more important is how we use it to create value. But here is the interesting thing. Great value does not always come from brilliant beginnings or huge sums of money. It is like a small seed. If planted in the right place and cared for carefully, will grow into a great tree. And Martin, in the above story, also learned that there is no need to wait for a miracle or a big investment. Just start from the smallest things, step by step. With patience and a desire to learn, you can create great changes. So, are you ready to plant your seeds? Start with small things, be patient, and keep learning. Did you know Michelangelo, the creator of the great statue of David, once said, "If people knew how hard I worked to achieve my achievements, they would not think it was so great." One of the greatest artists in history started with the smallest chisel on a lifeless block of marble. And then, bit by bit, with patience and constant learning, he turned it into a masterpiece. That's the power of baby steps. And you know what's interesting? Our life journeys are the same. Imagine you're facing a big goal, maybe opening a coffee shop, writing a book, or simply changing your eating habits to live a healthier life. And then you think, oh my gosh, where do I start? Hey, panic. Remember, Michelangelo didn't chisel David overnight, and you don't have to do it all tomorrow. Starting small may sound like common advice to the point of being a little boring, but the truth is, it works. For example, you want to start running, but have never run more than 500 meters without running out of breath? Don't force yourself to run 5 kilometers on the first day. Start by walking. And slowly, as you get used to it, run a distance smaller than the length of your sofa. Just that, and you'll be better than yesterday. Do you know why the little things matter? They're like paving stones. You can't build a castle in a day, but you can lay them one at a time. The important thing is to lay them consistently. Don't worry if you get off track one day. Just readjust and keep going. Patience is the glue, and learning will help you improve your paving over time. So ask yourself, are you skipping baby steps because you think they're not important enough? Have you ever put off something because it feels like a big goal? Try breaking it down. Even small actions can make a big difference. Think about it. What is the smallest thing you can do today to get closer to your dream? Remember, as Michelangelo once said, Every masterpiece begins with a seemingly invisible effort. So where do you start? Share your first small step in the comments. Who knows? Your story might inspire someone else. And remember, today's seed is tomorrow's shade. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's story. Every time we tell a story, we feel a special connection with you, kindred spirits who are together searching for true values in life. You are the source of motivation for me to continue this journey, spreading good and meaningful things. If today's story touches you, don't hesitate to click like as a word of encouragement and share so that your loved ones can also feel this awakening and inspiration. And don't forget, in the comment section below, write an inspirational sentence from your heart, a sentence that can make someone read it and smile, or even change the way they look at life. Finally, thank you for not only listening, but also feeling, for not only being absorbed, but also spreading. Together, we are creating a more beautiful world every day.